You remember it perfectly. The color of the car, the exact words your brother said, the look on his face. Except he swears it happened differently. So does your sister. 3 people, 1 memory, 3 different versions. Here's the unsettling part. None of you are lying. In 1995, psychologist Elizabeth Loftus ran an experiment. She convinced 25% of participants they'd been lost in a mall as children. It never happened. They cried, describing it anyway. Some added details researchers never even suggested. We assume memory works like a camera. Point it at an event, press record, store the footage forever. That assumption is completely wrong. Your brain doesn't store memories like files. It rebuilds them every single time you reach for one. And every rebuild changes something, however slightly. Neuroscientists call this process reconsolidation. Each time you recall a memory, your brain unlocks it. Then it writes it back down, subtly altered. The more you remember something, the less accurate it becomes. Familiarity feels like proof. It isn't. Picture a courtroom in North Carolina, 1984. Ronald Cotton stood accused of rape. The victim identified him with total confidence. She had studied his face during the attack deliberately. She wanted to remember him if she survived. 11 years later, DNA evidence proved her wrong entirely. She'd memorized the wrong man's face with total certainty. Confidence and accuracy are simply not the same thing. Your brain can feel completely certain about something false. It offers no warning label when it's wrong. So why would evolution build something this unreliable? Here's the deeper question worth sitting with. Maybe accuracy was never the actual goal. Consider what memory really needs to accomplish. It doesn't need to replay the past perfectly. It needs to prepare you for what's coming next. A perfect recording is expensive to store and run. A flexible simulation is cheaper and more useful. Your ancestors didn't need exact footage of a predator. They needed the general shape of danger fast. This is where the story gets stranger. Researchers Roediger and McDermott built a clever test. They read lists of related words aloud to volunteers: bed, rest, tired, dream, wake, and snooze. Participants later swore they'd heard the word sleep. It was never on the list at all. Their brains filled the gap using an obvious pattern. This became known as the DRM paradigm. It reveals something fundamental about how memory operates. Your brain doesn't retrieve facts directly. It retrieves patterns, then constructs facts around them. Think about your own childhood photographs for a second. You might remember a specific birthday party, but is that memory or is it just the photo? Research shows people often recall photographed moments differently. They insert themselves into an outsider's viewpoint entirely. Real, lived memories are almost always first person. This particular kind of memory usually isn't. Your brain quietly borrowed the camera's own perspective. It built a memory from evidence instead of experience. There's a strange phenomenon called boundary extension. Show someone a photograph of a single object. Ask them to draw it later from memory. They'll draw more background than the photo contained. Their brain assumes the scene continued past the frame. It fills in the edges completely automatically. This isn't a rare flaw in isolated cases. It's how memory operates everywhere, constantly, by default. Your brain is always quietly guessing what belongs there. Even trauma isn't immune to this constant rewriting. Flashbulb memories feel burned in, permanent, and exact. People swear they remember exactly where they stood on September 11th. Psychologist Jennifer Tallarico studied this question in 2003. She tracked people's memories carefully for months afterward. Their confidence stayed high the entire time. Their accuracy, meanwhile, collapsed within just weeks. Details shifted, merged, and quietly changed shape. Nobody noticed their own memory rewriting itself in real time. Here's the actual mechanism sitting behind all of this. Your hippocampus doesn't file memories away like folders. It reconstructs them using scattered neural fragments instead. Emotion, context, and present expectation all get blended in. Every single retrieval is really an act of creation. You're not remembering the original event itself anymore. You're remembering the last time you remembered it. Layer by layer, the original version gets buried. What survives eventually is a copy of a copy. This explains those endless family arguments over old memories. Nobody actually holds the one real version. Every retelling reshaped the story a little more. Emotion during recall matters here more than people assume. Stress, fear, and social pressure all edit the story. Tell a memory enough times under pressure, it changes. Courts eventually started listening to this uncomfortable evidence. Eyewitness testimony convicted people for decades, unquestioned. Modern memory research forced a genuinely painful reckoning. But this was never really a story about flaws. It's actually a story about what memory is for. A species obsessed with perfect accuracy simply freezes. It cannot generalize danger quickly or improvise under pressure. A species that reconstructs flexibly survives longer instead. Your faulty memory might actually be a feature. It trades precision for speed and constant adaptability. That trade almost certainly kept your ancestors alive longer. So what does any of this mean for you today? That argument with your sibling was never about lying. It's two honest reconstructions competing over one event. That confident memory you'd swear under oath, it might be built from patterns, not from footage. Certainty was never proof of anything at all. It was always just a feeling your brain generates, a feeling manufactured internally, never received from outside. Maybe the real question was never what happened. Maybe it's, why did my brain build it this way? Every memory you hold is a quiet negotiation between what actually occurred and what your brain needed. You are not a recording of your own past. You are a living, editable story about it. And somehow, impossibly, that story is still yours.